All right, good morning, everybody. Coming off scrimmage here today, I thought it was another good opportunity. Guys took advantage of. Had about 110 plays. Really, I think it was 50 plays with the ones. 40, 5 roughly with the twos, and then about 15 with the third group. Trying to get a look at everybody. Today, just where they are after a couple weeks of practice. Good amount of install. You're trying to see guys get out and operate. Did a better job. Had ACC officials here today. Did a much better job in limiting penalties. There were still some things that showed up that we got to get better at and to continue to trust our technique with, but. All in all, I thought it was cleaner in regards to that. It was good to see still different combinations. Jordan, I know I mentioned the other day was going to get some work. We planned on him having a couple series. We went out first series. I think he put together 12-play drive, extremely efficient. Did a wonderful job. Marching the ball down for a touchdown, and so we got him 12 plays, and you provided a great opportunity for other guys to continue to get work. I think Jordan's coming off, going back and watching Thursday's practice. Was really pleased with just all things that he's doing, and playing at a high level. It's good today. Just starting off to see him go out and play there. I guess he got 15, 16 plays. Had a couple situations there at the beginning, but I mean, he's getting better. And when your best players are improving, it's you're definitely exciting for what's ahead. I've got to watch more with the with the other quarterbacks. I mean, it was up and down today. I think all of them had good moments, but just a decision here or there that we've got to be cleaner with. Make sure that we taking control of the offense. We had some guys that were a little bit limited just on number counts, but as you're getting new personnel groupings, making sure that we're taking control of that as it goes. Defensively, thought we were flying around. Our guys did a good job, trying to play with tempo. Gave up a few runs that we have to tighten up. It was good. We had Trey and LT both went live today, so they were not in the tag mode that they've been, and both those guys showed up with a couple big plays. And but defensively, I thought responded very well. Really good job, third down situations. It's a good back and forth for what you're hopeful to see with a team that has the depth and the experience that we have, and also some of the newcomers that have joined us and bringing great competition. So a lot of things that we'll get to look at on film. We tried to challenge all. We basically played it as a first half, putting the ball down. Just a lot of different situations that showed up. Guys had to react to. Got some 2-minute drills. I thought it was a good work day. So, pleased with what we were able to do. I think we're in a good spot in here. Nine practices in. You'll have 2 practices this next week, and then leading into the spring showcase week, which will be a great opportunity in that third time of getting a chance to go out there and play and scrimmage our guys to continue to improve and get better.
Hi, Mike. With Jordan getting better and growing, especially the last few days, with what you've seen from him, I guess what areas are really standing out to you and impressing you about his upward mobility there?
Well, I mean, you see rhythm and timing that just taking even. I think that's one of his great talents is understanding that. But I mean, he is, you see the confidence and building that with the guys that are around him, whether it's in the running game, the passing game, really in all things, just how fast he's able to operate, the efficiency and really all things. And, I think he's doing a really good job. Had him, once his day was done, put him in a situation where he got to, got him on the headset, tried to have him helping some of the young guys, just in the things that needed to be talked about, with those other quarterbacks, just down on the sideline, and I thought I think those are all good experiences for him. And, he's being what we need him to be, and that's probably the thing that I'm most proud of is when you have your top players that are pushing like that. I mean, it's fun, and we're having that with a lot of guys, at a variety of different positions. Johnny had I know a couple of big plays. He was on he's a little limited here today, but showed up when his number was called. Like I mentioned, the backs, tight ends really pleased with what I'm continuing to see from that group. Defensively, our defensive front. I mean, it's they present so many challenges, and we're trying to see these guys take the next step, and just some of the newcomers that are here, and then guys that have been here, just the consistency and the fundamentals. Josh Farmer is another guy. Josh Farmer, Darryl Jackson. I mean, those guys have been really good. Fabian and Jared were both limited on snap counts, but you see Pat Payton, who had another good day. I mean, really. Showing impactful moments. Our linebacking group, I mean, Kalen DeLoach is really coming along, and DJ Lundy, I mean, definitely flashed. I mean, it's fun. Omar Graham, is a guy that I'm definitely excited about what we're seeing in that core. Tatum's been. We held out for, here today, and then we've got some guys there in the secondary. They're just growing with confidence. Fentrell had an interception. I think we got a couple here today. I mean, it was good to see, and the competitive spirit. I think Jerry Jones is coming off one of his best weeks throughout the week of practice, and I mean it's exciting to see that confidence show up, and just the way that guys are continuing to grow and how they're playing.
Hey, were you able to have more of the offensive linemen available than you were last week? And then also, I know you've been working different guys at the center position this spring. How's that going for that group?
No, I mean, it was good. We still limited a couple guys. Julian was unavailable on Thursday, but was back out there today. It was good to see him, back and working. At center, we are trying to. Maurice has been so steady for us in the last few years, and great leader for us up front. I mean, but making sure that the battle for that next center position, who is that going to be, and to be able to have 2 or 3 guys that can do it. I know Casey's been getting a lot of work there. Quayshawn Sapp is getting a good amount of work. Darius with it, we threw in there for a few series there today. Being able to have those guys as they're growing and building and confidence and all the things that they can do, and then we know during spring, I mean, we're gonna push the different combinations, and we want to see that. We want to see how guys respond. I mean, as we get a little bit further into fall camp, there'll be times where we do that, but really try to settle in more on specific positions. But it was good to get some of the guys back. Schrader was back here today, so we got some good work.
You mentioned Patrick Payton performing well today, and obviously he had a good scrimmage last week as well, according to you guys. I guess what has stood out about his play, and then secondly, Mike, just the defensive end room in general with Derek McClendon leaving. I guess who has stepped up with those extended opportunities?
Well, I mean, it's Pat is a very talented young man, and I think that when you watched last year, you saw the flashes, you saw the potential, but I think he's taken a lot of ownership in the details and trying to be better against the run at times, just in condensing space and playing with technique and fundamentals. He's got a great ability as a pass rusher. But that's been a big challenge for him, and it's one of the things that seeing him grow in that, and Jared Verse. I know we talked about that earlier. I think it was this last week or 2 weeks ago. Just his buy-in when it comes to that, and just being more detailed and fundamental. Seeing that fundamental growth. Has been really good. I mean, I like what I'm seeing from Gilbert, transitioning in. He's a guy that's played a lot of football this last year, but we knew when he's coming in that the opportunity and potential that's ahead of him is, it's extremely high. And, as he's learning and building confidence in what we're asking to do, he's playing faster, playing more physical, really, trying to show up and showcase that consistency, and then it does provide opportunities, whether it's guys like a Byron Turner. I had a couple of good plays. Got a quarterback sack today. I know that I saw. I think that our defensive our defensive front has a lot of flexibility that can show up, and we get some guys that are inside that can play outside. Guys that we can move around to be able to attack in different matchups. I'm excited about the potential we have. I know he's not going through and doing much this spring, but a guy like Jaden Jones is, he's kind of an X factor guy for us. I mean, unbelievable size. Agility, ability. He's doing, his rehabilitation as he's coming in, and you sit there and you see. I mean, he's already put on, I think, close to 15 pounds. I mean, he's pushing over 240 pounds now, and maybe closer to 250. The guy's almost 6'6". I mean, that you see and feel, the strength that's developing. But I like the room. I really do, and I think it's it's exciting, about where it's going, and it's all stemming from the competition we have.
Hey, Mike, you spoke a little bit about, the linebacker spot. How much growth have you seen out of Omar, and what do you see from that group? It's a lot of experience coming back, but you also have some young guys you could mix in there as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think Omar is going to be a really good player here. And, you see, last year he played, some as a freshman, and it was, just learning that transition, for all the different things he did in high school. He's, just coming in. I think that he's definitely taking, great steps for us. And he is a playmaker. He's a guy that flashes. You see him show up. He's got he's got physicality within the core, but then when he has to go out in coverage, I mean he's a good athlete. And so I really like what he's doing. Brennan Gant's been a guy I know I mentioned last week that he's fast. He's athletic. He provides a lot of flexibility in regards to that. Steven Dix is moving better than what he has coming off the injury. This offseason, I like what I've seen with him. DeMarco is really, for a freshman that's just starting. I think he's definitely shown up, and I mean he runs and hits, and that's something you like with a young linebacker. There's still a lot of things he's going to have to figure out and improve upon, but. When you have those top three that have been established, throughout the year, and then you have got competition for guys pushing them. I mean, that's exciting, and I think we've really done a good job in the evaluation of a guy like an Omar Graham. You sit there and I think what DeMarco will be able to continue to grow and do. I mean, it's and obviously the other guys we have coming in, we're excited about that position.
Have you seen Ventrell kind of get more and more comfortable? It seems like he's had a couple turnovers lately. How's he doing since he got here?
No, good. I thought he had a really good week, and I had I want to say might have been Thursday, had an interception, or maybe it's Tuesday, but he's really coming on, and I think that he's a guy that's played much like Gilbert, has played a lot of football. But when you come into a new situation, maybe a couple new techniques, terminology. What I love about just his work ethic, and he is a incredible teammate. You sit there and just the way that he's locked in with the guys that are around him, trying to either learn from them or listen to them, or also try to help provide his insight for the things that he's done. We've got some great challenges. Our receiving core I feel like is going to be really good, and I think that our defensive back room is going to be really good. So those guys go at each other. You're gonna be forced into some one-on-one plays and one-on-one opportunities, and you got to take advantage of it. So I think he's really building in that confidence and is playing fast. And like I said, had a big play today.
Yeah, Mike, you said the quarterbacks had, besides Jordan, had an up and down day. I guess I was hoping you could expand on that. What did you like from that group of the backup quarterbacks? What did you maybe not like and they need to improve upon with the opportunities they're getting?
Some was decision making. There's a couple plays where guys really tried to do almost too much. In the moment, whether if there was a sometimes the best play is an incompletion, and there's all different things that will show up in spring ball. If a guy has a mistake or a guy is doesn't win or whatever might show up. I mean, just being able to show the reactionary process of what you're going to do, and your ownership of the downs, your ownership of the situations. And then there's times where you just gotta. I mean, when it's there, you gotta stick, step, throw, and put the ball where it needs to be. And that was done on really well in some plays, and there were some plays that we had misses, and that's. I'll go back and watch the film and get to It's easy to sit there and watch a quarterback and say, well, this is not good or that's not good, and then as you get a chance to get a sense of the bigger picture, I mean, it takes 10 guys around it to be where they need to be for rhythm and timing. Now, if somebody's too deep on a route, or if there's somebody gets beat up front, there's a lot of things that might flash and adjust, but that's part of the learning process for these quarterbacks. And I think that I mean, they're all very talented. They all showcase their ability and talent that they have. I mean, you're just looking for that consistency. And guys have you all had really good days. Throughout. I mean, I thought last week it was good to see. And I mean, there were some times today that Brock looked like a freshman, and he also had a couple of really good plays. So I mean, it was. As we continue to add installation, and it's not just for that one position; it's for an entire offense. With some new faces and guys that are working to establish themselves. I mean, it's just that overall control and command that I'm looking for, and that was some of the up and downs today.
We'll go back to Matt.
Mike, I want to ask you about the tight ends. You've got a lot of versatility in that group. How do you envision them kind of helping you out this year, especially offensively, getting them in the flow, maybe getting them more into the mix?
Yeah, I mean, we got a talented group, and I think the guys that we have returning. I mean, Mark Easton, Preston's played a lot. Brian Courtney was able to play some this last year. Really excited about Jarrell Powers. I mean, he's got a great future in front of him. He's got to continue to grow up. And then you look at the newcomers that have joined us, and those two are really really impressive players. And Kyle has had some good plays today. There's some things that he's got to clean up with some of the details. But I mean, the way that Jaheim's come in, just learning the language. I mean, obviously, it's a lot, and playing, probably the two positions in this offense where it's the most volume are tight end and obviously quarterback, and for those guys to understand all the flexibility that this offense presents. I mean, it's a lot to learn, and I think they've done a really good job in that. And there's a lot of competition of what they're doing, but they also see the opportunity and the versatility that they can have within what we're doing, and just how dangerous that can make us.
It feels like we've watched, this progression for Josh Palmer now over these last couple of years, and it's been steady, but it almost feels like maybe it's taken a jump. Sometimes in practice, I mean, he looks very dominant. What do you think's been the key for him there?
Oh, you're right. I mean, he has been dominant in practice, and he is. I really believe that. It's just the reps. It's the time. It's the time in the meeting room. It's the confidence in what he's being asked to do, and just how he's applying that. I mean, he's a talented individual. I mean, strong. Might be one of the strongest human beings we have on this team. I mean, just hand strength, power, punch. He had. He's got great movements. I mean, he's a fun player to watch and coach. And I'm telling you, like I say with full confidence, he is just scratching the surface. He's got an unbelievable potential in front of him, because there's still a lot of things technique-wise he has to be better at. But you see those moments where, I mean, just how good it can be, and we need him to continue to take those steps. But and you talk about 9 practices in, most improved players that I mean, he's definitely in that conversation. This has been a guy that's played for us, and he is. You always talk about guys, having to define a role or create opportunities, and I think that he's doing that, and we're just excited to see the consistency show up, play in and play out.
Mike, I got a non-scrimmage question, but I want to ask, with the transfer portal window opening up in a couple weeks, how much with your research, when you look at a player, is involving with analytics? I mean, how much do you look at, different factors going in, geography, things like that? How much of that plays a big factor in looking at a transfer, bringing someone aboard, and how much do you rely on just maybe your own personal gut feeling about players?
I think each situation is its own. We look at analytics for all things, and we try to have, a baseline understanding of things that maybe have shown up in the past or things that have been more successful than others. I mean, you sit there and you watch. You look at the analytics of guys and success per snap and opportunities where they've aligned, what they've done, regardless of position, but it still has to fit us. What are our needs? And I think that's as big as anything. And it's one thing that I've tried to take I take a lot of pride in is making sure that the evaluation of how somebody's going to fit and what we need within our team. And we talk a lot about that fit. And we definitely have a special family here, and we want guys that are going to come in and be a part of that, that are going to be willing to work, that are going to be willing to pour all that they have into making this program, what we know it's capable of being. And, because of that will allow them to go out there and be their best with the competition and the guys that we have around them. And I think, as you guys get to meet and know the players we have coming in, whether they're high school or whether they're transfers, I mean, it's we've got some really good young men and guys that they take a lot of pride in what they do, but also take a lot of pride in who they get to do it with, and it's something that makes me proud. And obviously I try to pour everything I have into them, helping them on their journey to where they want to go. And we absolutely expect the same thing as they're on this path with their career.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks so much.